Welcome back here, 8:52 on this Thursday morning here. Fabulous day out, really hot though, and getting hot fast. So this morning we're talking about as you go through life, you meet all kinds of different personalities, and you may not realize it, but some people are considered to be highly sensitive. It's an actual thing. Research shows that highly sensitive people see the world a bit differently, and while it can be difficult, it also comes with upsides as well. So joining me now to talk about this is intuitive life coach Rochelle. Amber, good morning.
Good morning.
So thank you so much for being here. I want to talk about this term, highly sensitive person, because a lot of people out there might be that personality and they don't even know it.
Absolutely. A lot of people who have this trait actually don't know. And what people don't realize is that it's actually a genetic trait. So our brains are wired differently. And the way that works is our sensory neurons process data much more deeply and thoroughly. So what does that mean, right? Basically, if you're a highly sensitive person, you get overwhelmed much more easily, you're bothered by bright lights and loud noises, you cry more often, you startle easily, and you really kind of absorb the emotions of people around you, and you just have really, really deep, deep feelings. But what happens is that so many people grow up sensitive and they hear from the world around them, like, why are you so sensitive? Why are you so emotional? Why are you so dramatic? And what they start to think is that there's something wrong with them or that they're flawed, when really it's just literally a genetic difference in the way that their brains are wired.
I even feel like the way our society is, you want to be strong, you want to be tough, you want to be a leader. And I think a lot of people who are highly sensitive find themselves going, where do I fit in this world?
Absolutely, absolutely. And they think that to fit in, they do have to toughen up and keep up with the other 80% of the population.
And you're saying that can backfire.
It can absolutely backfire. So it sounds counterintuitive, but if you think about it, what you resist persists, right? So if you are a highly sensitive person, the more that you try and toughen up and be like the rest of the world and, try and act like you're not so sensitive and push your emotions down, it's actually going to make you more sensitive and more reactive. But when you start to accept it and realize that, okay, this is just the way that I'm wired, and I'm not going to be able to change this no matter what, then it starts to work for you and not against you. And as you look for the positives in it, you start to see more of the positives, right? When you're looking for the negative, you're going to see the negative, but it's the opposite as well.
I feel like an intuitive, sort of highly sensitive personality can also make you successful in the workplace as well, maybe in not ways that we previously thought.
Absolutely. So what people don't realize is that sensitive people actually make really good leaders. And the reason for that is because we're so tuned into other people's emotions, and we're so tuned into where things are wrong, where things aren't working properly, like we're the ones that notice that first. And so that makes us really powerful leaders because we're able to see things that need to be fixed, things that need to be cared for, things that need to be paid attention to, and then really, do something about that and make sure that, the people around us are feeling good, because we can tell when something's off.
I wanted to have you on because we're doing this One Kind Thing campaign for the month of August, and I appreciate you being part of that. I wanted to ask you a little bit, because our point was spreading kindness, spreading positivity in what feels like an unkind world. I feel like if you're highly sensitive, it feels really unkind. How do you live as a highly sensitive person in what feels like a crazy, unkind world sometimes?
Yeah, so this is a big, big difficulty for sensitive people. And the first step is really what I was mentioning earlier, is accepting your sensitivity. Because if you're beating yourself up over it, then you're getting beat up by the world around you, you're getting beat up by yourself, and it's just like a double-edged sword, right? But when you start to accept it in yourself, you start to come off more confident, which then is going to change the way that people react to you. So that's a big part of it. But then also, when you're thinking about acceptance, you have to accept that as a sensitive person, you have different needs than the other 80% of the population. Sensitive people need more downtime. They need more self-care. They need more process time. And so when you can come to terms with that's just, you're going to need these different things and start to give them to yourself, then you can really start to thrive. And I like to explain it like if you think of a tree in a windstorm, right? So a tree that's got really, really strong roots and is a really tall, strong tree is not going to be that affected by the windstorm. But if it's a tree that has, maybe it's a baby tree, it has newer roots, or it has rotting roots, right? It's going to be really thrashed around by the wind. It's going to lose branches, right? So it's the same thing with being sensitive, is that when you take care of yourself and really accept yourself, that's when you get those strong roots, and you're going to be able to thrive much better in this world that can often be unkind.
Yeah, and grow, and that's the key.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amber, thank you so much for being here. It's
of course.
super insightful.
Thank you for having me.
Highly sensitive people out there, maybe you're watching watching this and going, yep, that's me. Appreciate you being here. We want to hear about your act of kindness. I know I mentioned this one kind thing a few minutes ago. Share your acts of kindness or something you see in the community. Use the hashtag Q13 FOX. We would love to spread that positivity in what can be an unkind world. Bill, over to you.
Well, hang in there these next couple of days. It is going to get really hot. MJ coming back with a look at your weather forecast for the weekend. Also, school buses that were supposed to pick up kids on the first day of school have caught fire, a whole bunch of them. What a local school district is now saying about bus routes for the beginning of the school year.